everyone. Sorry I look awful. My sleep schedule has been absolutely ruined the last couple weeks, and every time I think that I finally managed to get the hang of going to sleep on time, the next night, another 2 hours. Whenever this happens and I can't sleep, I always get super depressed. 3 a.m. nighttime is peak hour for depression thoughts, and they won't even last till the morning. I know that, but it's very overwhelming when you're laying down in the dark and you just have yourself for company. Even messaging people, you'll say things at night that you won't mean in the morning, and it makes you feel a lot worse than you actually are. Honestly, recovery isn't linear, and that's what I have to keep reminding myself whenever I have these weak stretches where I can't sleep, or my anxiety is just rocketing, or my depression is at its worst in a while, because I'm always afraid, what if I'm slipping? What if I'm going back to that place I was in when I was at my absolute worst? What if I'm losing control? And control is something that's always been a very big deal to me. It's always been part of why I have so many maladaptive habits. So it's very, very frustrating to be in this downward spiral, but again, doesn't mean that I'm slipping up. It just means that I'm having a low peak, and I will be able to appreciate that once I go back up, because I'll be able to see it with a clear mind and go, oh, okay, that wasn't that bad, or at least I got through it. And that's the nice thing about having made it this far. It's been 3 years I've been taking my medicine and getting better, and 3 years of me surviving. And every time something like this happens, I can just remind myself that I've made it this far, I've survived this much, that one sleepless night or 15 sleepless nights aren't going to destroy me. And honestly, this is something that happens to me whenever I haven't gone home for a while. It happened really badly last year. I barely was able to get out of bed. I couldn't go to class. It was awful. I'm not going home anytime soon, but my family's coming in a week, and we're gonna go on a trip, so I'm finally gonna be able to get out of this state and have a bit of a vacation. It's not always that easy to just get away from your problems, because you can't get away from your own head. I said I have maladaptive coping mechanisms, but a lot of the coping mechanisms I've discovered over the last couple of years, the ones that help me, they are probably the reason I get through these times, which is why I wanted to share some of them with you, in case you are also going through a tough time, or you have in the past and you want to be prepared for the future. So one of my biggest things I've done is I took this journal and I turned it into my survival guide. In it, I have all of these tips about how to deal with different problems. I have this page, which is different problems I've had and ways I've discovered to deal with it. For example, if I'm irritable, which is like depression plus this prickly energy where it feels like my body's itching from the inside, a lot of times that comes with like hypersensitivity. So I avoid touch, avoid talking to people, move softly, lie down, make sure I'm warm, don't eat anything that has a really strong flavor like chocolate or milk, and breathing exercises. And it seems simple, I guess, when you are thinking about it, but having it written out like this helps me when I'm in that place, because I can be like, okay, this is what I did last time, it worked, I can do that again. Then self-care ideas, which again seem really obvious, but it's just not having to think and being able to just follow directions is really nice when you're in a place where your brain seems to be working against you, because logic doesn't come into that dark place where it's like you can see daylight but the clouds are over everything. so the light isn't coming through properly. Like the sun is there, you know the sun is there, you will be able to see the sun eventually, you know the clouds will go away eventually, but right now you can't see it, so you just have to go based on trusting your memory that exists. I also have a lot of quotes in here. This one is Lin-Manuel Miranda. This one is from David Diggs and Rafael Casal, who are these rappers I really like. I have this, which I don't want to show because it has phone numbers on it, but it's for emergencies. I have this, and I also have this on my phone, and I have it shared with a couple of friends, so in case there's ever an emergency, they know who they can call. I have this. I fill it out every time I need to. I also have this, which is an adult coloring book. These became really popular, I think, a few years back, and my sister got me a Harry Potter one too. She got me, this was my birthday present. They became really popular and it seemed like just a capitalist thing, which it was. This. So being able to do this and just focus on nothing but the colors and listen to music, and just, it really helps me when I need to empty my mind or when there's too many thoughts and I just need to relax. This is what I'm probably going to do if I can't sleep, because sometimes when I can't sleep, the best thing to do is just to lie down and listen to music with your eyes closed, or do something like this that doesn't involve a lot of thinking, something that definitely doesn't involve the phone, because that will just exhaust you more, and sometimes that's enough to reset your brain so that you can get through another day. Because I have work at 8 a.m. till 3 p.m. so I have to get up. So I have to come up with ways to make it through the day, and this is one of them. I have learned all these different things about eating and sleeping and all this, and it's supposed to make me better, but I still have so much trouble with my eating habit. I've had disordered eating habits since I was in 10th grade. I understand logically, I understand how I should be eating, I understand it from a medical perspective, I know what I should be doing, I've seen the effects on myself, I know how it affects my mood, my sleeping ability, my focus, but it's still so hard. I am lucky enough to have people around me who do care enough to help me through these days. I have people, I have a doctor that I don't call as much as I should, but I'm working on that. I have a lot of things I'm working on, and it's okay because recovery isn't linear. Recovery is a process that takes a long time. Sometimes it takes most of your life, but there will be a point where I'm not just functioning, I'm living. And I've reached that point, I think, a couple times, and I'm not there right now, but I will be able to reach it again. And so will you. I promise you, whoever you are, whatever situation you're in, you will be able to make it to that point. The decision you have to make is to decide that you want to make it to that point. And that is a very hard decision to make. It is very hard to convince yourself. But the day that you do, the day that you've reached the point where you have convinced yourself that it is possible, write it down. Write down exactly how you're feeling. And after that, every day where it seems impossible, look at that and know, I had that day, I can do it again. Also see a doctor, please. If you want to know more about what I have in my survival guide, you can message me. So I actually have these zines that are made off of this. This one has like a wellness calendar plus tips and stuff. This one was the first one I made, and it's more informative, lots of words. But I have a PDF of this too, if anyone wants me to send it to them. I hope you have a pleasant day or a pleasant night, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Peace.